So I'm going to show you how to create a basic logo using a combination of the shape builder tool, gradient tool, and the type tool. I'm going to replicate kind of a logo that I made a few years ago based off a drone startup. It was called Drone Struct. So you can see the motif there was the S, replicating the blades of a drone, and then the D and the S incorporated into the logo. It was kind of nice, and then the orange was a good touch to sort of go with as well. So I'll start off with creating the D, and the font I'm going to use is Montserrat Regular, so I'll bump that size up to 72, and we'll just go from here. So what I'll do, I'll create the D. I'm going to expand this as an object now, so it's not a type box or a text box, sorry. And what I'm going to do is to replicate the curvature of that bottom of the D, especially here, and leave that top of the left corner D pointy. I'll create a shape here, and I'm going to use the shape builder tool. So I'm going to minimize this and make it a bit smaller. And what I'll do, yep, so it looks good. And I'll use minus front, so basically it'll cut out a hole in the middle. So this is a shape that I can move around now, and that's using the Pathfinder tool as well. I'm going to minimize and play around with the sizing. You can see now I've put it over the top. It's kind of similar to that look and feel now. Looks good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try the shape builder tool to see how this will look. Yep. Okay, so you can see here with the shape builder tool I've got a few of the elements that I can highlight. This is mainly because the D sort of goes over the O, so I can actually deselect these two edges. If that kind of makes sense, see that there's that little gap here that runs along. So if I guess the D was a bit bigger, I wouldn't be able to cut this out. I think in this instance, but it's allowing me to do so here. So what I'll do is I'll actually combine this, and I'll draw a shape using, you can see that it's drawing like a line, and I'll add this shape here too. So now I've got that combined shape now, and I'm going to hold Alt. So using the shape builder tool, you can see it changes to a minus. So holding Alt, click there, click there, and maybe I'll just get rid of it. Oh no, we'll leave it there. That's fine. Now we're kind of closer to what we want now, so it's a little bit more professional here too. Don't worry about the sharp joint there, we can smooth that out later. And then what I'll do, whoops, and then I'll create an S to sort of go over the top. There you go. You can already see that the logo is starting to come together. I'll expand the S, and what I'll do is I'll just make it, oops, man, it's so touchy. This keyboard, Apple keyboards are so touchy. I'll make this a bit smaller to sort of fit. There you go. I kind of like how the S sort of comes out from this angle here, but there you go. Now we'll push it here, and then what we'll do is we'll get the shape builder tool and we'll just remove it. How good is that? What a powerful tool shape builder is. And there you go. So we've got a nice D and a nice S to sort of use now. The last sort of step we'll do here is we'll cut out the hinge of the blade of in the middle of the S. So I'll just make it ellipse, make it a bit smaller, yep, so it kind of overlaps. I'll select both the S and the circle, and I'll minus front again. Actually, I'll do it once more. Maybe we'll get a bit more of the cutout. Yeah, we'll do it that way. I think that's probably a bit better. It's not perfect, but I'll use the directional arrow tools to point and click. There you go. So they're kind of overlapping. Whoops. There you go. Whatever. It's a bit rough, but you can kind of see that motif is there. as is for now. Sorry. Okay, so there you go. You've got the full shape now. What we'll do as a final sort of step here is we can unite the full shape. So now I've hit unite, and now this is a full shape that I can warp and bend and distort as I please as well. So the last thing I need to do really is with this logo is create my gradient and actually kind of color it as I wish. I want to sort of replicate the orange with a bit more flexibility. So what I'll do is I'll use the area gradient tool, so I can pick and choose points of where I want the gradient to be, and then kind of control what colors I use. So say for example in this instance I don't want white to be the main highlight. I want a little bit of purple because I feel like purple's in at the moment. I know that they don't sort of go together in this example, but I just want to kind of show you a little bit, show you a bit more freedom when it comes to picking these colors. And there you go. Here's a nice sort of startup-esque logo. And then to replicate the line. Whoopsie. Oh, where's that coming from? I don't know where it's going. Anyway, we'll just create a stroke. There you go. And then we'll create some text, which will not be 72, but we'll call it is construct. And we'll keep the text as Montserrat, but we'll increase the tracking between these letters to make it a bit more, not modern, but a bit more, you know, aesthetic in that sense. And we'll just center the text as well. You can see that my auto spell check is turned on because we've got that dotted line. So I'll just turn that off so it gets rid of that. That's active spell check if you can understand. And I'll reduce the stroke width of this to 0.5. I think it's a bit nicer. I don't have the time to fiddle around with font sizing, so I'm just going to convert this to editable text box. And there you go. We've kind of got what we're after here. If you really, really want, you can change the font to a selected color that you've got in your palette. Maybe we'll go for the purple. And there you go. There you have it. So a nice little modern logo with a combination of the shape builder tool. I think the last sort of step what we'll do here is we'll curve out this to make it a little bit more nicer, I think. It doesn't look perfect, but we'll just round it out so it doesn't look jagged. Perfect. There you go. From here, you can create different versions. You can turn off your gradient if you really need to, if you just want to use like a fill. This is where you can kind of do it and experiment a bit more. Create different versions. Use the fill, like use a different stroke, use a different widths. You can put different backgrounds. Experiment with the brand. If you've got brand guidelines, you can experiment this way as well. Use white, use color, that sort of thing. It's not going to allow me to pick both because the line has a stroke and the text is a fill. There you go. So I hope you had a bit of fun with this one. If you've got any questions, just let me know. I'll probably make a few more videos in the future with complex style designs, but this is a good one to start with and nail the basics of most of the day-to-day tools of Illustrator.